Welcome to Friday. Oh boy, we made it another week.
Yes, we did.
We did, didn't we? It's Friday, June 28th, and this is WGTV Today, Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good Friday morning. We all love a good Friday.
I'm telling you, Friday is one of my favorite days of the week.
Mine too, Wayne.
I like the others too, but Friday's a good one. Of course,
Something
Saturday.
special about a Friday.
Yeah, I love Fridays.
Well, you can look forward to a couple days off. Most of
Yeah,
us.
that's right. Coming up, one of our interviews today will be a couple of ladies I want to be talking to about Camp Liberty.
That's right. You were telling us a little bit about
Yeah.
it yesterday.
Camp Liberty is a Constitution seminar or workshop, and it's all about our Constitution.
And learning about our Constitution.
And learning about the Constitution. You ever read it? Well, you know, here you go. Here you go. Everybody should have a copy of the Constitution. There's a copy of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. You should always have it near you. And it makes good reading. It does. Anyway, I strongly recommend it. And if you're interested in this, attend the July 18th, 19th, and 20th workshop or seminar. It's going to be held at Victory Free Will Baptist Church. And later on this morning, we're going to hear, or later on today, we're going to hear from a couple of ladies who are going to tell you all about it and why they're doing it.
That's great. And I want to hear about how they're going to engage children to learn all about the Constitution.
That's right. It's for kids and children and adults.
Perfect.
Okay?
That's great.
Fantastic. All right.
Well, tonight
Yes.
is Stage Struck Children's Performance. I
Oh,
told
boy.
you about, I mentioned
Yeah.
it yesterday. Their youngest children, they have a camp for 2 weeks, and it's called Stage Struck Stars.
Okay.
And after their 2 weeks of learning about how to do various things, from singing, dancing, auditioning, putting a show together, they're actually going to showcase what they've learned. It's going to be at the
Wow.
Paramount tonight. Tonight at, let's see, 7 o'clock. It'll only last about an hour. You can get tickets at the door, or you can call the Paramount Theater and get them there at 736-4530. They
right.
sure would love to have you come out and watch and see what these little youngsters can do.
Yeah.
This is like kindergarten to 4th grade.
Oh,
So that's always fun. I usually go each year, and I tell you what, they do a great job.
that is a tremendous amount of fun.
It is.
Oh, you know it's going to be fun. All right, very quickly, our birthdays for today.
yes.
Kelly Pickler is having a birthday.
Oh, how old is she?
She is 84. She's 26.
Of course she is.
She's Kelly Pickler, American Idol contestant.
Who's
She's
had
26.
a lot of excitement going on in her life lately, winning Dancing with the Stars, and she's got a new album coming out, so she's had all kinds of goodies
Oh,
happening
good
for her.
26. Mel Brooks, funny man, is 86 today. Kathy Bates, the actress, is 64.
She's good.
She is very good. Steve Burton played Jason Quartermain and Jason Morgan on General Hospital. He is celebrating number 42. John Cusack having a birthday, 46 today. Birthday for Elon Musk.
Who's that?
Elon Musk is a big name in the IT social networking business. He's also a big name in Tesla Motors. Tesla Motors, the electric sports car and all that. He's also the guy who founded PayPal.
Well, there you go.
And
That says it all.
It does. And SpaceX, which truly is space exploration. Elon Musk is 41 years. And
That's
he's going to have he's going to have a lot of trouble spending all that money.
Isn't
I'll
that
tell you
the
that.
truth? Ooh.
Also a birthday today for Felicia Day, the actress who appeared in TV shows such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Undeclared, and she was also in Monk. She's 33. One of my favorite actresses who passed away in 1989 was born this day, just a few years ago. Her name, Gilda Radner.
Oh, yes.
I love that woman. She was born in 46. She died at the young age of 42 of cancer. She was so funny.
She was. Everything she did.
Everything she did, from the Judy Miller show, the Judy Miller. Anyway, she was just funny. We miss her. And birthday today for Pat Morita. Pat Morita was Mr. Miyagi.
That's right.
On the Karate Kid. Yeah. Plus, he was in so many other things.
He was.
As well.
They were good little movies. Had such a
Yeah.
good lesson to be learned
Yes.
about in all of
Yes.
those movies.
Wax on, wax off.
Exactly. Wax on.
That's
wax
right.
off. Yep.
All right. All right. Again, a reminder that during the month of July, in fact, for the next several weeks,
Right.
we are going to rerun or repeat some of our programming here on WGTV Today. We will have a repeat of several programs throughout the entire month of July and for several weeks.
We are. We're going to be working on our programming and various other things. We'll have some new and exciting looks for you, and New programming for you when we come back after our hiatus.
Our
Get those words out.
our hiatus.
That's right.
That's right. We're gonna get into a huddle here and figure out the best way to go and add new things and do new things.
It'll be a little different.
It'll be well, not
different
a
when we come back.
little different. Anyway, going to have some big things to do here.
That's
so,
right.
in the meantime, we hope you are entertained by some of the programs that we feel that were probably most interesting over the last several weeks. So we've been going since September of last year. So we're going to take a break here. I mean, everybody does that, you know.
Well, you know, more than anything, we really are hoping that this show and that this particular program is teaching you and making people more aware about what's happening right here in your own community, what's happening with city government, county government, but also in other agencies right here in our community that are doing fantastic things.
That's exactly right. So beginning Monday will be a repeat show, and for the next several weeks after that, you'll be able to enjoy those programs again. Then we'll be back.
But you can find all of them on YouTube.
You can go to YouTube and find everything.
If somebody you know interviewed on the show and you want to see it again, if you go to YouTube and hit playlist, you can find just about anything you want under the County of Wayne or City of Goldsboro.
That's exactly right. Now you can get to that by going to WayneGov.com, and then there's a link on the right side of the page there that will take you to the YouTube site. And then when you click on the YouTube site, you click on recently added is one category, or just list them all. Anyway, figure it out.
That's right. Figure it out. That's right.
I have trouble with some of that
everybody does it
sometimes.
different. I know on the city we do ours. GoldsboroNC.gov. You just click on WGTV, and I like for you to hit playlist because that categorizes everything.
Yeah.
And we have everything under WGTV, and it's done by date.
Well, ours is
So
all programming
of course.
as well.
Yes, so they're
Just
very
a little,
similar.
A little differently.
That's right.
Similar but different.
They're all there though.
That's right. July 4th coming up next week. Next Thursday
That's
is the 4th of July. The sheriff has a few tips for you.
Please tell us.
All right. Never give fireworks to small children. Always follow instructions on the packaging. Keep a supply of water close as a precaution. Make sure the person lighting the fireworks always wears eye protection. Duh.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah. Light only one firework at a time and never attempt to relight a dud. Think about it. Store fireworks in a cool, dry place and away from children and pets. Never throw or point a firework toward people, animals, vehicles, structures, or flammable materials.
Goodness.
Stay at least 500 feet away from professional fireworks displays and leave any area immediately where untrained amateurs, like your next door neighbor, are using fireworks. Okay, Sheriff Winters says be careful out there. During the holiday period in the swimming pool, if no lifeguard is on duty, do not let your children swim unless they're accompanied by a responsible adult who knows life-saving techniques and first aid. There's a bunch of other stuff, and you can get all these holiday tips from Sheriff Kerry Winters on the WayneGov.com website. Click on the sheriff's office.
There you go. And
There you
we'll
go.
be having professional fireworks at the Berkeley Mall on actually July 4th at 9:00 p.m.
Wow.
We
okay.
recommend that you either drive something you can sit in the back of or take a chair because you're going to be there a little while.
You're going to be there a while. Take a
If
chair.
you actually go to the mall, which is where they're going to be setting off the fireworks, you know there's going to be a tremendous amount of people there.
Get a lot
So
of
don't
people.
get in a rush. Take your time leaving.
Remain
We'll have
calm.
a good crowd. Remain calm.
Do not pass go.
Exactly. What else is happening, Wayne?
Yes. Well, I do have a brief bit of information about the July
that's
4th.
right. Why we celebrate July 4th.
Well,
Yeah.
I will be covering that in the second portion of the program.
Okay.
Now, the trivia question for today.
Yes.
The category is the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yes.
My
Tell me.
good. Oh, the question is, sorry about that. Yes, 87 pounds of bees.
Excuse me, say that again?
87 pounds of bees.
Bees.
Bees. You know, the things with the stingers that bzz, ow, that kind of thing?
Yes.
87 pounds of bees. How does that play into the Guinness Book of World Records? What does that mean?
How many bees to make the most honey?
Well, how many bees to make the most honey is a great answer, but it sure is wrong. Okay, there is a segment there's a section in the the Guinness Book of World Records that refers to 87 pounds of bees.
Okay.
What is it?
Well, we'll have to wait and
Pardon
see
me.
what that might be.
Okay. All right. We're going to go to our programs now.
Yes, we are.
Our interviews, so we'll be back in just a few minutes. Now pay attention to these.
Welcome back to Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Kim Best, your host. I am delighted to have with me today Miss Goldsboro 2013, Beth Stovall. She's here to tell us about her experiences at the Miss North Carolina Scholarship Pageant. Welcome back to the show, Beth.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we're so proud of you. You had a phenomenal time, I know, spending a week up in Raleigh competing for the title of Miss North Carolina. Tell us about your experiences from the day you arrived.
Well, the day I arrived, first of all, I had a spray tan earlier that day, so I was extremely dark, and the pictures that Jordan Chan took are really embarrassing, so no one go try to find those pictures. They're really bad. But, you know, this entire week, nothing could have prepared me for the experiences that I had. I've grown so much. It felt like we had been there for months instead of just 1 week because of how much I learned and how much I grew as a person and the friendships that I made and the bonds that I've made. We've really formed a sisterhood, and I've got that bug. I've got this pageant bug. I want to just jump right back into it and see how much better I can do. So
Tell me what entices you about that, because the general public may not understand because they weren't there with you. They don't know the long 10 and 12-hour days you all spend in rehearsal. They didn't experience the 10-minute interview where you're being drilled on not only your community service platform but your current events, what you know about everything from healthcare to politics. The list goes on and on. You girls have to be aware and have opinions and be very informed on every single topic.
Yeah,
and for a 19-year-old young lady, do most 19-year-olds have that strong of an opinion? Maybe not. So tell us more about that.
Well, the second day that we were there, we moved in on a Friday. Saturday morning, rehearsals. 4 hours, break, 4 hours, break, 4 hours. So that's 12 hours on the first day that we were there. The next day...
A little overwhelming?
A little bit. I was so tired, and it was mostly dancing, and I'm no dancer. So that was fun. And then the second day was the exact same thing. And then Monday is when competition started. We had our interview.
Right.
So, yes, that is very stressful, going into that 10-minute interview with 5 people who you've never met before, and you don't know if they're going to be intimidating or if they're going to, you know, smile at you the whole time, because you just never know. And you also never know what they're going to ask you. So you do have to be prepared to answer anything that they throw at you, and they were throwing stuff at me left and right. And
what would you describe it as, a unbelievably fast press conference?
Yes, exactly. And that's really good preparation for Miss America, I think. I really think so.
And I'm sure that's why they handled it that way. Because before you could finish one question,
they were asking another, and they were kind of cutting off my answers, and then they would cut each other off. But it was, I mean, that's what they were told to do, I think.
Exactly, it is.
It was exactly like a press conference. You just had to keep yourself composed and just try to answer as best as you could. As quickly as you could.
Exactly, because you have 10 minutes to showcase what you know and who you are as a person.
Especially who you are. That's really hard to do in 10 minutes. I walked out of that interview feeling confident, but there were things that kept running through my mind like, man, I wish I had been able to say this about myself, or, you know, this about my platform. It was just so fast.
And 10 minutes is, some people are intimidated by the fact of having to sit there and talk for 10 minutes and answer questions.
But really, it's almost like 10 seconds.
Exactly.
It goes by very quickly, especially when it's so fast-paced.
Well, tell us about the preparation for the 3 nights of preliminary competition.
Well, first was lifestyle and fitness. People call it swimsuit, but I prefer to call it lifestyle and fitness, because you really have to become healthy long before that night. You have to start eating right, you have to start working out and training yourself so that you can look the best that you can look on stage. So I had to start dieting, and I had to start going to the gym and working out for a long time before the night of. And then talent night was the next night for me. So that meant a lot of rehearsing and practicing my talent making sure that all of my movements were big and dynamic enough so that I could paint the picture and tell the story to the audience, because I'm singing in Italian. They're not going to be able to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Exactly.
So I have to make sure that I become that character so that they can see my emotions and understand what I'm trying to say.
Well, obviously you did a pretty good job of that. Beth won the overall talent award that night. We're excited to say she brought that home back to Goldsboro, so you all should be very proud of her.
Yes.
She did a fabulous job, and as you see the pictures behind us, this is Beth's talent, where she's in the blue dress here, and you did an amazing job. And to be singing in another language, you really did pull the audience in and entertain them on that very large stage at Raleigh Memorial Auditorium. And pulled them in, and they felt very much a part of what you were singing, and that's what that is all about.
It really
That's what the
is.
rehearsal was all about.
Especially as a performer too. That's what you want to give your audience. You want them to feel the emotions that you are trying to evoke. You want to paint that picture for them, and I really feel like I did. But I was very surprised still to win that award, and very honored and humbled and very emotional about it. I cried every single night except for the night that I won my talent award, because I was so happy for everyone. I really, really formed such an amazing sisterhood this week, and I'll never forget it.
And I've heard girls say that for years, and it is so true. With my own child going through this, I understood, and still today, 2 years later, they're some of her very best friends,
Yep.
and she's still there supporting them, and I'm sure
You
you'll be
text
doing
each
the
other,
same thing.
You keep up with each other's lives. I mean,
When
my
nobody
group-
else knows what you've been through but them.
Right, exactly. We've all been through the exact same things. I was in Group B, and we have been texting each other. We've created a little Facebook group, and we're planning a Wet and Wild trip this summer.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We want to stay in touch with each other because we love each other so much.
Well, you spent how many, Lord knows how many hours with them those days,
Yeah.
12-hour days rehearsing. Well, tell us about your third day of competition. The evening gown you had is behind us.
Yes, that was my second favorite phase of competition after talent. It's really about making yourself seem poised, elegant, and graceful on stage. And I really think that something else that goes into that phase of competition is being able to walk in front of that panel of judges and make them see that you are humble and that you are ready for this job. Because I think that you have to have all of those qualities to be the next Miss North Carolina.
Absolutely. And every phase of competition, everything you did those 7 days at Miss North Carolina, is you're auditioning for a job.
Yes.
That's what the entire program is about. You're auditioning for a job to be the next Miss North Carolina, who has 80 days from the time she's crowned
Yep.
to be competing at Miss America.
Yep. Jonna only has 80 days. I think today, after today, she'll have 80 days until she's on that Miss America stage.
And she says Jonna, and Jonna
Edmonds.
was Miss Johnston County, and she was the young lady who was honored to be crowned
Yes.
Miss North Carolina.
And I love her to death. And I think that she is perfect for the job.
She is.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I think that she is going to do amazing things.
Oh, she will. I agree with you totally. Well, tell us about Saturday night, the final night, the night that it's televised, live. You're there, all of you on that stage, waiting to hear top 10 announced, which is the very first thing you do after your opening
Nerves
number.
going crazy. It was such a rush, adrenaline and lots of prayers going on beforehand. But honestly, we had been doing this all week long, and they kept saying, you know, this is going to be broadcasted. 100,000 people are going to be seeing this just on TV. That's not counting the people who
Online.
are going to watch it online.
Right.
And those numbers just kind of went in and out of my head because we had already done it so many times.
Right.
It was just like another night of rehearsal or preliminary competition. But whenever they called my name, when they called my name first, I was the first person they called for the top 10. I was so excited. I ran down the stage, and I didn't have anyone to run to
Right.
because I was the first one, so I just kind of had to hold myself and smile a lot and thank the judges. And then after they started calling all of the other girls down, I realized I'm the first one. I'm going to have the least amount of time to get ready for swimsuit. So I started kind of getting a little bit nervous, but I knew that I was standing with 10 other girls who were in the same boat that I am. Maybe they had a little bit more time, but they were in the same boat that I am.
Right.
And I knew that all the girls behind me were just ecstatic for all of us.
Well, explain to the audience here, they may not understand, once you've called top 10, what happens then?
Basically, it was like a blur. It was so fast. But we went backstage. All of our things had been moved into another room so that all of the top 11 were in a separate room by themselves with all of their things, and we had dressers back there who were helping us get ready. But basically you just have to fly out of whatever you're wearing and fly into the next thing. So you had to, there were earrings everywhere, combs, hairspray, lipstick,
Because you're starting all over.
Basically.
The process starts all over, other than you carry a 30% of your original score on when you start top 10, and you're basically starting all over, and you compete all over again, just those
Yes.
top 10 in every phase of competition, including interview, because you're asked questions on stage in your evening gown, whether it's current events or whether it's about your platform, whatever they may be, whatever they choose to ask you. So you start all over again in your
Yes.
competition.
Yes, and the interesting thing about that is the previous week we had had an entire day to get ready for one phase of
Exactly.
competition. And for Saturday night you had about 1 minute to get ready for that phase of competition. So you really had to keep your mind going and keep thinking about the things that you needed to remember on stage. Like for me, swimsuit, making sure that I stood up straight and, you know, did my little turn correctly without falling on my face. And then talent, making sure that I connected with the audience, and evening gown, keeping my shoulders back and being poised and elegant and graceful. I had to really, really be on top of my game.
Exactly. That night is so fast, but it's so emotional and it's so exciting.
Yes.
And then whenever the top 5 are called, then they answer more questions on stage.
Yes.
And then we had the overall crowning, and Jonna Edmonds, Miss Johnston County, was crowned your next, or your new Miss North Carolina. We're excited to watch her move forward and compete this September in Atlantic City,
Yes.
where Miss America
So
has moved back
excited.
to Atlantic City. It was in Vegas for a few years, but Atlantic City is the originator. That is where Miss America started, and we're excited to have it back in its home where it should
Yes.
be.
Yep.
And we're glad to support Jonna. We're happy for her. She will be a fantastic Miss North Carolina. I have no doubt. I've known her for quite a while, her and her family, and she's
Very
a beautiful
sweet.
young lady, very intelligent, already to receive her bachelor's degree and working on her master's right now. So very smart. She will represent our state well. We should be proud. But Beth, we are very proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, we could not have asked for more of you. You have done a complete transformation from the time you were crowned to now, mentally, physically, emotionally. You were ready to go compete as a 19-year-old representing Goldsboro and our community, and we're very proud of you, and we think you've done a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And we'd be remiss if we did not mention, however, we also had a outstanding team
Yes.
that competed. Her name is Emma
Emma.
Carter. She represents Goldsboro as well, and she made top 10. She won her talent award just like Beth did, and this is her second time competing for that title, and this time she actually won 4th runner-up. So we're excited and wish her well for continuing the rest of her year here. Now tell us, you've got until November the 9th. That's our next Miss Goldsboro, which will be at the Paramount.
Yes.
You've got until then. What do you want to do these next few months?
Well, I definitely want to finish organizing that 5K that I've been thinking about. And I just want to maintain this relationship that I've created with the people of Goldsboro. Although I've lived here my entire life, as Miss Goldsboro, I've been able to make these connections that I wouldn't have been able to make as just Beth Stovall. And I really want to maintain these relationships and continue to make more of these relationships with the wonderful people of this place that I've lived in. And yeah.
Because you've grown up right in the Rosewood area. You've
Yes.
lived here your entire life, graduated from Rosewood High School, and you're currently a rising junior
Yes.
at UNC Wilmington. So we're excited for your future. We have great expectations for you. I feel like you will continue to do quite well with this bug you've caught
Yes.
of the Miss North Carolina competition bug. And you know, Beth, one of the things that I think you've seen firsthand now, and I want to make sure the community understands, the young ladies that compete for this title must be intelligent, well-rounded individuals, and all of these skills that you have learned, you'll take forward with you in your future. They will
Yes.
help you as you apply for your jobs throughout your life. All these skills that you have learned, public
Definitely
speaking
helps you
skills.
live your life to the fullest. They're beautiful from the inside out. And I have to thank everyone who sent me cards and presents throughout this entire week, because they really helped me get through it.
Well, I really feel like, Beth, that you've learned a lot.
Yes.
You have gained so much experience. You've made Goldsboro so proud. And I can't say enough that what all you have listened to and learned, and how you've really transformed yourself into this very intelligent, not that you weren't already, but this very informed,
Yes.
beautiful young lady on the inside and out. And we're very proud of you. and we wish you the best, but we expect to see many, many more times of you being in our community, representing us, and getting to know the people of Goldsboro.
And I look forward to it.
So if you want to book Beth Stovall to come to your event to speak about her experiences or just to talk about herself and her platform, Inspiration Art, you can go to our website, MissGoldsboro.org. I went blank there for a minute. MissGoldsboro.org, and the contact information is there. And Beth, if you'll look in the camera so everybody can see you one last time. But thank you for listening. This is Miss Goldsboro, Beth Stovall, 2013 Top 10 Miss North Carolina.
Bye.
Welcome back to Wayne Goldsboro Television. Do you know what's happening at communities in schools? Well, let's find out. Today I have with me Miss Selena Bennett, who is the Executive Director. Welcome back to the show, Selena.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Always love to hear what's happening, and I know you all have a big drive coming up.
We do.
Tell us about that.
Well, every summer, Communities in Schools has a school supply drive. And what we do is try to collect supplies, any kind of school supplies that children will need to be successful in school. Because, of course, our main goal through Communities in Schools is to support children so that they will reach their fullest potential in school. And if a child goes to school and they don't have book bags, notebooks, composition books, if they don't have those tools that are necessary to be in the classroom, we know that from the very beginning they're at a disadvantage.
Right, and I'm sure it affects their self-esteem as well.
Certainly it does.
If they walk in the classroom and they don't have what the other children have.
Exactly, and we want every child to have that confidence and that excitement about starting the school year.
Ready to learn.
Ready to learn and ready to participate. So one of the things that we will have this summer, the News Argus always sponsors a tremendous drive for us called Stuff the Bus. That has already been scheduled for Friday, August the 2nd.
And anybody can participate in
that.
that.
And we want anybody and everybody to participate. What will happen on that day is we will actually have a school bus. Dr. Taylor is always so gracious to have a school bus driven to the News Argus office. It will be parked in front, and the News Argus staff, they have been just phenomenal over the past years in sponsoring this. They go out and they man the bus for the day.
You actually stuff your supplies in the bus.
You actually come out,
fun.
You purchase supplies, and you come and you stuff the bus. And this year, I'm thinking that my board members and I will probably be scheduled throughout the day because we don't want the News Argus to have all of the fun and us not get in on any of the fun. So that's part of the day, and it usually happens to be one of the hottest days in the summer.
That's just the way it works in August.
And I'm sure that it's already been scheduled so that it will be that way. But last year, we collected right at $15,000 worth of school supplies on that bus on that day.
Selena, that's fantastic.
It's phenomenal. And then we take those school supplies and we drive the bus around the corner to one of the closest schools, unload all of the supplies, and then the next week I will have volunteers to go in and help me, and we evenly distribute the supplies so that every school in the county gets a stash of supplies that we give to their school social workers and counselors. Wonderful. And they will be ready so that on day one of school, the social workers, the school counselors, they know which children are going to be the most in need of these supplies. Right. And so they have them at their fingertips. They don't have to wait to get supplies. And then in addition to that, I keep some supplies in my office throughout the year because as the stash might get low at the school.
Exactly.
New children move into the school. Unfortunately, there are situations where maybe a child moves from one school to another and they need additional supplies. Right. Then all the school social workers and the school counselors have to do is call me.
Right, they're ready. Okay.
Exactly. And so I can kind of keep an inventory of what things they might be needing.
Wonderful. So stuff the bus at the Goldsboro News Argus on August the 2nd.
On August the 2nd.
Now you'll take, what kind of supplies? Tell us what you will accept.
Well,
show us our book bags
I brought
here.
Book bags. I have already had one organization in the community that has donated money to me this year. And they asked me if I would take care of purchasing school supplies. So I always try to keep a stash of different colors, different sizes, boy, girl
That's
kinds
right.
of book bags.
Perfect.
I need book bags for elementary kids. I need larger book bags for high school kids. But it's not just book bags. I need paper, pencils,
supplies to
crayons.
go in 'em.
I
Okay.
need supplies that we can put in those book bags. Composition books.
So basically anything that
Anything
a child
and
from
everything.
elementary to high school would need, like on their
Exactly.
regular supply list. You can
Exactly.
take it all.
I can take anything and everything. Last year, something that I had a need for throughout the year, which was a little harder for me to keep in stock, was thumb drives. Because
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
especially at the high school level, working on graduation
Right.
projects, working on research papers, they save everything to a thumb drive, which
right.
you and I didn't do back in high school.
We didn't know what a thumb drive
We
was.
didn't
It had
know
not
what
been
a thumb-
created.
That's exactly right. But now we are much more tech savvy.
Absolutely.
And so we need the updated technology to go along with the school supplies.
Right, okay, so thumb drives we're in need of.
Exactly. One of the things that I wanted to mention is, now one organization has already contacted me and given me a very sizable donation and said, will you do the shopping for us? So if there is an organization, a civic club, a church, a youth group, I had a church youth group last year that called me and said, we want to help, tell us what to do. They prepared, I think it was 75 book bags that were completely filled with supplies.
Oh, nice.
And donated them to communities and schools for me to distribute. So there are avenues, if there are organizations who want to purchase and have me to go pick them up, if they want to donate the money and specify it for school supplies, then I can do the shopping for them. I will be willing to work with an organization in any way that they want to participate.
Wonderful.
And I do have some schools every now and then that will say, I want this to go specifically to an elementary school.
Okay.
So, you know, I will honor those requests. If they want me to work with them, we will work out whatever agreement they would like for me to do.
Wonderful. Is this the one and only event that'll be happening this summer?
Well, this is a main event. It's not the only event this summer. Walmart is also a national sponsor for communities and schools. So
Wow.
all three of the Walmarts, the one at Rosewood, the one on Spence Avenue, and the
Mount
one
Olive.
in Mount Olive, will participate in what's called Build a Backpack. Now that drive is a little different. Patrons of Walmart can purchase supplies and put them in the bins at those Walmarts, and then I will go pick them up.
Okay. That's good to know that it's connected with our local
It is.
community, though.
It is. And Walmart is a tremendous sponsor for communities and schools on the national level. So that is another way that people, if they don't want to bring it to my office, if they don't want to go to the Stuff the Bus event, they can still participate.
Okay, perfect.
And I received a call this week to go speak to a local civic club. There are a lot of organizations that want to know more about communities and schools.
Right.
They want to know more about our mission. They know that we became accredited this year, and so they want to know, how does that change our role, and what will that help us to accomplish? So I'm more than willing to spend a very good portion of my summer speaking to groups to educate them and to let them know how they can participate in our mission.
So if someone wants to book you to come be a guest speaker, how would they go about doing that, Selena?
They can call me at the Communities and Schools office.
Give us your number if you would.
It's 919-735-1432. They can email me, sbennett@ciswayne.org, and I will be more than happy to schedule it. And the other thing that I want to encourage is I am trying to be very informative with
Right.
new newsletters. Anybody that would like to be on my newsletter email list, that's how I'm sending a lot of information out to the public and to churches and civic groups. So I would certainly encourage them, if they want that information, just contact me. It's very easy for me just to add them to that link.
And most all of this is on your website.
It is on my website. We have a wonderful,
Yes, you do.
wonderful
a
new
newly
website.
renovated website.
We do.
That is up to date and has all the detailed information
Yes.
about what communities and schools is,
Yes.
who your community partners are, and the list goes on and on.
That's exactly right, and that's wayne.communitiesandschools.org.
Perfect. Well, Selena, thank you so much. We're looking forward to Stuff the Bus. Don't forget, that's August the 2nd, so we want you to participate if you can and help youth in our community stuff these book bags and make sure they start out with the supplies they need to have a fantastic year and ready to learn. Thanks so much for listening, and this is what's happening at Communities in Schools.
Our guests in the studio with us, we want to welcome Rochelle HALAKA and Linda HARPER. Now, you ladies are here to talk about Camp Liberty. Camp Liberty is a Constitution seminar on the foundation of America. How much do you know about our Constitution? You know, I have a book, and I keep it with me all the time, of the U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. You can see it's a bit worn, but I keep it with me all the time anyway. If you ever have a question about what your rights may or may not be, you can always refer to the Constitution. The Constitution set the foundation for our nation. It's what makes us a free nation. Agree?
That's right.
That's what makes everybody in this country free. So, you should read it, you should understand it, and if you don't, here's an opportunity to find out more about it. Camp Liberty. Who wants to start? Where did this start? Whose idea was this?
This three-day event is designed to honor the past, to prepare for the future, and to teach in the present. And
Okay.
we are based on, our interpretation is based on the original intent of the Founding Fathers.
Now that's important, the
It
original intent, because nowadays people seem to have the habit of taking something they read and interpreting it to fit their own agenda. So you're going to cover what you feel is the original intent of the Constitution.
Right. And the mission of our Constitution Camp is to enhance the understanding of our Founding Fathers' Christian and moral heritage, as well as explain the courage and ingenuity of these great men and women. The mission is also to create an appreciation for the genius of the Constitution and explain the exceptional country that we are.
That is indeed so true. So Rochelle,
Yes.
what will we be seeing? Now when is this going to be held?
This will be July 18th, which is a Thursday,
Right.
Friday, and most of Saturday.
Okay. Now I understand that the Thursday, Friday are evening events.
That's right.
5 to 9.
5 to 9.
And if you don't get there in time, it's okay.
It's okay. It'll be kind of a work in progress, a seminar, but a workshop kind of.
Well, we'll have some refreshments and foods
Okay.
at the very beginning. So
Okay.
if you come a little later, that's okay.
All right. So the 17th, 18th, the 18th, 19th, and 20th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday and Friday are evening, and Saturday is almost all day.
Right.
And we
9:30
serve
to
lunch.
3:15.
You will serve lunch.
Yes, there'll be refreshments in the morning again,
All right.
and then lunchtime we have.
Okay.
And there's only a charge of $10 per adult and $20 for a whole family.
So-
So you get 3 meals plus these outstanding speakers.
Now I can tell you, obviously, you're not in it for the money.
No.
Okay. This covers the cost, right? The cost of the meals,
Correct.
which is really 3 meals. It's $10.
Our intent is to give the opportunity to the community to learn this very important subject.
How many people know that the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, how many people realize that those were written with the purpose in mind of keeping our government small and keeping our government out of our business, to keep our government from infringing on our rights? If you were born in America, you were born with rights. The Constitution doesn't give you any rights. The Constitution explains what your rights are.
Yes, Citizens for Constitutional Liberties is sponsoring this event. And our 5 core values are constitutionally limited government, national security, religious freedom, and the capitalism and fiscally sound economy, which means a debt-free and a balanced budget.
Really?
Yes, that is our mission.
All right. Those are your mission
I'll
points.
take a budget nowadays.
Yeah, we can work. Yeah, we can. We can use that. Well, tell me about the David Gibbs.
Well, Dr. Gibbs is a constitutional attorney, and he was working with Christian Law Association with his father, who is also David Gibbs, and he came to fame in the Terry Schiavo case.
Oh, sure.
He was the lawyer supporting life in that case. and he has founded the Institute for Life and Liberty, and he based in Florida, and he travels around the country speaking to various organizations.
All right. And what about Dr. Gene Gerganis?
He is also a nationally known speaker, and he teaches on Islamic awareness and foreign government.
Okay. So, Chris Ann Hall?
She is a constitutional attorney from Florida, and she's also a nationally known speaker. She has her own radio show, a 2-hour nationally syndicated show on Sunday afternoon, and she also has a show from the Senate floor in Florida.
And Becky Gray?
Becky Gray is from the John Locke Foundation.
And all these people will be speaking here in Goldsboro.
And then some.
And then some. It is a Constitution seminar, the Foundation of America, and you were invited to attend. It's only $10. Where do you get tickets?
Well, they can call this contact number on the screen, 919-751-1090.
All right, 751-1090.
In this Constitution seminar, we will see current events and how they relate to the Constitution.
So the Constitution that was written in 1787 and ratified in 1789 still is important to what's going on in our country now.
Right.
So if you want to learn how our Constitution, over 200 years old, relates to current events, you'll be able to cover that as well.
Right.
It takes place here in Goldsboro.
Yes. That was my next question.
At Victory Free Will Baptist Church.
That's okay. Victory Free Will Baptist Church. And if you don't know where that is, that's
1806 Wayne Memorial Drive.
That's right. It's at the corner of 70 Bypass and Wayne Memorial Drive, that big church down in the corner there.
Well, there's the big one is right in the corner. There's
It's just before you get this. There's the traffic light.
Right.
Across
Burger King.
Across from Burger King and the shopping center there. Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that adults obviously are welcome, and we hope a lot of the community will see the importance of this event. And while they're learning the Constitution, their children will also be learning in a fun atmosphere.
All right.
We've broken the children up into appropriate age groups for learning, as well as having a
qualified teacher in each class.
Qualified teacher in each class. The children will learn about the Constitution
have fun
doing so.
games,
Right, games and all that. Now you
songs,
also songs and all that.
and for those who are still too young, they have
A
nursery.
provided.
A nursery.
That's
So we've
important
taken care of
too.
everything.
Yeah. All right, now we're almost out of time here, but again, that number is 919-751-1090. It's on July 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's 2 evening programs and then a daytime Saturday program. It's for adults and for children. And in fact, there'll be prizes awarded. There'll be a raffle, and there'll be some nice things.
And there'll be a question and answer period to address the speakers with your questions and interests.
This is so important. Now, I hope you're able to attend. $10 is all it costs. 751-1090, 919-751-1090. Our guest has been Linda Harper of the
Citizens for Constitutional Liberties.
That's what I was going to say. And Rochelle HALAKA, we thank you so much for being with us
Thank you
today.
so much.
Thank you. I'm Wayne Alley. We're back on WGTV today, Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us.
That's right. And Wayne, can you tell us a little bit about maybe why we celebrate the 4th of July?
I'm glad you asked. I have it
Are
right
you?
here. I am. I am. Of course, it was a day of independence.
Right.
Most people don't realize, however, that the actual Declaration of Independence was signed by most of the signers on July 2nd. And then the rest of them signed it on the 4th. But anyway, most people in the U.S. celebrate the 4th of July, but do you know exactly why the holiday is so important to our country? Imagine how you would feel if someone older than you, maybe an older sister or brother, kept telling you what to do all the time, and they kept taking more and more of your allowance from you. I know I'm your bigger brother, but give me 50 cents and I'll leave you alone. I won't beat you up. Okay, that kind of thing. Well, you get tired of that happening. That's how the colonists felt in the years leading up to 1776. Great Britain kept trying to make the colonists follow more rules and pay higher taxes. Now, people started getting mad, and they began making plans to be able to make their own rules. They no longer wanted Great Britain to be able to tell them what to do, so they decided to tell Great Britain that they were becoming an independent country, thereby declaring independence. They wrote a Declaration of Independence. They did. Mr. Jefferson did. To be independent means to take care of yourself, making your own rules and providing for your own needs. Now, the Congress met in Philadelphia, PA, Pennsylvania, and they appointed a committee, a group of people working together to do a specific job, to write a formal document that would tell Great Britain that the Americans had decided to govern themselves. We appreciate your help, but you know, we can handle this from here on out, or something like that. The committee asked Jefferson to write a draft, Thomas Jefferson, to write a draft of the document. So he worked for days in absolute secret until he had written a document that he thought said everything important that the committee had discussed.
So he did it all alone.
He did it all alone. He wrote the Declaration himself. On June 28, 1776, the committee met to read Jefferson's copy, his fair copy. They revised and they made some changes and they did this and that in the document and declared that their independence declared independence on July 2nd, which I just mentioned. They officially adopted it on July 4th. And that's why we call it Independence Day. Congress ordered that all members must sign the Declaration of Independence, and they all began signing the official copy on August 2nd. That's when they all signed it, August 2nd. In January of the following year, Congress sent signed copies to all the states, because then we were states. We weren't colonies anymore.
Right.
We were states. The Declaration of Independence is more than just a piece of paper. It is a symbol of our country's independence and commitment to certain ideas, a symbol of something that stands for something else. Most people can look at a certain little swoosh sign and you know that that stands for Nike, right? Well, most the signers of the Declaration of Independence wanted citizens of the U.S. to have a document that spelled out what was important to our leaders and our citizens. They wanted us to be able to look at the Declaration of Independence and immediately think of the goals we should always be working toward, and about the people who have fought so hard to make these ideas possible. Now, the people who signed the Declaration risked being hanged for treason by the leaders in Great Britain. Some of them were, in fact. They had to be very brave to sign something that would be considered a crime. So every time we look at the Declaration of Independence, we should think about all of the effort and the ideas that went into that document and about the courage it took for these people to stand up for what they knew was right, and that is independence.
Oh, that's a good story.
It is a good story. Pardon me.
So we'd love to see everybody display their flags, show your patriotism, show how proud we are and how much we
indeed.
support what these gentlemen did many years ago.
And these gentlemen had it rough after this. Many of them, as I mentioned, were hanged, some were hunted, some lost all their property. Ben Franklin's own son turned against him. He moved to England and as a youngster, and he stayed there. And then he went, he fought, or he was independent, and rather he was a part of, thank you, the British movement. So Franklin lost his only son, and so it was a tough time. And in fact, 2/3 of Americans at the time were not necessarily in favor of independence. You know, they were kind of kicked back. Yeah, they were, well, they kind of liked what Great Britain was doing, sending all this stuff over there, and they were willing to pay a little extra for it. But Great Britain at the time ruled this country. And we said, well, we want to do this ourselves. We can handle it. We got it.
And we have.
And we have. Say what you will, you know, we're still the greatest nation in the world.
No doubt about it.
No doubt. Now, we have,
Yes.
what do we have?
Well, Wayne Community College wanted me to remind everyone, if you're interested in taking classes, right now, coming up soon, actually July 15th and 16th, 17th and 18th are the days to register for the fall. If you're wanting to take classes, those are the 4 days that you can come in and go ahead and get your classes registered. That's for the regular fall curriculum. And then if you're interested in free classes, what they call basic skills registration, that is like trying to get your GED, your ESL, things such as that. adult high school. That is open for registration July 29th through August the 14th. Then they have also their last classes are called continuing education classes. And this is like where you can just enhance your personal growth, whether it's jewelry making, learning how to play golf, line dancing. They even have a class for your dogs. They have dog obedience. You can sign your dog up to go to college
I
now.
could sign me up.
How about that?
Hey, woof.
But all this is listed under continuing education. You can find all of that on Wayne Community College's website. You can find details as to how much these classes cost, what time they're offered, when they're offered. So more information at waynecc.edu. That is their official website, and all these different things are listed right there.
Wow,
For your
there you
convenience.
go. Well, you know, today, or rather tomorrow, the 29th, is the last day of the week of Lightning Awareness Week. You know, everybody's aware of lightning, but there's Lightning Safety Week going on all this week through the 29th. So we want to remind you, with all the storms we've had a lot of storms this
Exactly.
week, a lot of rain, and a lot of lightning. When thunder roars, go indoors. And this is a big deal because there's been a tremendous amount of deaths attributed to lightning in North
Fires,
Carolina.
that's right.
That's right, and fires and such. North Carolina is right up in the top 5 across the nation consistently for the number of deaths by lightning strike. So again, no place outside is safe when thunderstorms are in the area. If you hear thunder, that means lightning is close enough to strike you. If you can hear it, it can hit you.
Right, that's exactly right.
When you hear thunder, immediately move to a safe shelter and a substantial building with electricity or plumbing, or an enclosed metal-topped vehicle with windows up. Now, the reason they say move to a building with electricity or plumbing, that means if the lightning did strike that building, it would go right into the ground following those lines. So that's a good place to be. Stay in a safe shelter at least 30 minutes after you hear the last sound of thunder. That's some good information there about lightning safety.
I want to remind you there's only 2 days left. If you have not turned in your motto for the city of Goldsboro, 2 days left. June 30th, 5 o'clock. That is the deadline. Thank you to all of you. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
We need to do, wait, we've got to do what's in a name.
What's in a name? And then da-da-da-da.
Yep,
All
so
right.
what's in a name?
Da-da-da-da.
And the da-da-da-da will be filled soon with your motto. So you've got 2 days left to get yours in if you want to participate. You can also find all of this on goldsboronc.gov.
Have a great July 4th, safe July 4th. Have a great month of July. We'll be back in a few weeks with you here on WGTV today. And
That's
until
right.
then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Thank you so much for being with us, and this is what's happening in your community.